Hey you guys, Martin Ostad here. Welcome to my channel and welcome to another unboxing. Saint Etienne, the pop group, not the football team, hails from Greater London and they formed all the way back in 1990. I was not aware of that back then. I became aware of them in 1998 while I was still living in Copenhagen. I do not remember why and where the impulse to buy one of their albums came from. This was, like I said, 1998, and they had just released a new album. And although, my recollection of why I ended up buying one of their albums is sort of lost to the mist of time, I think I've told myself over the years, and maybe that is correct, or maybe I, constructed a background story to this. It was because of the album cover. And in 1998, they released Good Humor. And, looking at this album cover and my, penchants for design and wanting to be one, wanted to be either a designer or a cartoonist all my life. Maybe that was it. Also, I have had, a bit of I've been drawn to French culture in some ways, and maybe also I thought that this was something French and something, very cool. You could listen to in a cafe and listen to this music and drink or whatever, pastis. And in parts that comes from my love of French and Belgian bande dessinée, cartoons, comics, Tintin, but most of all Spirou et Fantasio. So maybe that, I don't know. And then I guess my journey with Saint Etienne was somewhat sporadic over the years. I bought this follow-up in 2000, Sound of Water, and then later on I got Fox Base Alpha on these, these lovely deluxe editions, and this one called Continental, which I think is even a little older than this one because it has one of these, these plastic sleeves around them. And I don't think I realized until later on that when I finally probably read this, that this was a that include B-side rarities and unreleased tracks thing. Because that's also one thing about Saint Etienne. I've been a little bit confused as to what are their studio albums and what are sort of remix albums and these influenced by albums that some artists released back in the day, and which in some cases ended with me coming home with a record and realizing that it was only the band's name on the album cover. All the songs were original performances by bands they were influenced by, not cover versions. So yeah, I don't remember what you call those. And then when gradually, finally, when I got a record player again, I started getting some of their stuff on vinyl. I think this is their 10th album. And then also got this one, The Home Countess, which I think is their 9th. I finally got Good Humor, was it earlier this year or last year, on vinyl. Lovely experience listening to this beautiful album again on vinyl. This was a 2023 reissue, and I got a record I had never heard before, Words and Music, which I'm pretty sure was last year. This one was originally from 2012. And I got their second album, So Tough. And not long ago at all, I finally got Fox Space Alpha, their debut album, on vinyl as well. I was very torn for a long time whether I should get one of these colored vinyls or a deluxe edition. Then the deluxe edition jumped in price, and I think the colored vinyl started to disappear. So I said I had the 10th album. I do not have the 11th album yet. It was released as late as in December 24. And then fairly shortly after, they announced that they would release their 12th album. And I said, oh, well, I better make sure I get the 11th album, which has been a little bit tricky because I've been trying to get my record stores here to get it, and they haven't been able to, and it's been so sort of going in and out of availability online. But when they followed up, we are releasing our 12th album with the words, and that will be our final album, because we will finish here on a good, while things are good and we're happy, and we will not be recording any more albums, and this will be the final Saint Etienne album. And this was back in May, so I pre-ordered this album from Rough Trade because there was a color variant, and I thought I wanted to sort of celebrate the end of a band that I have now been listening to for 27 years. My God. So here it is, the box that I picked up. I traveled to Oslo to pick this up because I'm not really here, and one of the reasons was that if I waited until the next weekend when I'm coming back from my second stint at the place I'm currently staying at, the health place, yeah, you guys who follow me know this, it would have been returned to England. Yeah, let's not keep packages lying around very long anymore. So here we go, guys. So the final studio album from Saint Etienne, a band that sounds to me like French-ish, not just from the title of the band, sophistication, maybe not in the vocal stylings, but in the music surrounding it, like that chanteuse type music. There's this 60s element, the French cafe culture, Nouvelle Vague, not the film trend, not necessarily the band Nouvelle Vague, but also maybe some elements of Nouvelle Vague, and Sophistipop, but also electronic and British, way into that kind of music, from the British way through electronic pop and sort of ambient feeling to things, and but with pop sensibility and pop songs, with this sort of girlish innocence with a hint of something more sinister somewhere lurking in the background, if you're so inclined. That to me is Saint Etienne, and that's what I've loved about them. And I could open up 1950s and 60s comics by Francois, René Francois, who drew, was the eminent Spirou et Fantasio, and see these futuristic drawings of the modernistic part of France in that period while listening to Saint Etienne, that would be just, you know, that would be perfection for me. So here we are. The new album from Saint Etienne, International, featuring the singles Glad, Brand New Me, and Take Me to the Pilot. So here it is, guys. Right. Heavenly recording. So this is the 13th album. Sorry, did I say wrong? Yeah, I might have. What was their 11th album then? Sorry, guys. So this is the 13th album by Saint Etienne. It was mostly produced by Saint Etienne and Tim Powell and mixed at Podwell Towers in Howe, Sussex. Guy Davey did the mastering at Electric in West London. There's work done in various places like Needham Sound, Howe, New York, Henley on Thames, Oxon and Bradford, West Yorkshire. Home counties. The sleeve artwork is by West Riding Arts Research. Well, anyway, guys, let's get this shrink wrap off. We have a gatefold on our hands. Now that I'm holding this, I'm really keen to get their previous albums and all the other records that I'm missing to sort of conclude my journey with Saint Etienne. And this is one of those bands where, you know, you don't hear that much, for example, in the vinyl community about them. And I have gotten feedback a couple of times that I have inspired people to get records, like from Norway, for example, with, for example, Aurora. But I would be very happy if you know, someone who watched these videos listened to Saint Etienne and went, "Oh, this is cool. I want Morten got me on the path to listen to this." So the hype sticker is actually on the record itself. Very often their records come in these, I think, in these plastic sleeves already, you know, like this, with you know, hype stickers on them. And same record company, but I didn't do it this time. So let's look at the gatefold. and they've been a trio over all these years, as far as I know, and they've consisted of Sarah Cracknell, Bob Stanley, and Pete Wiggs. And the track listing is as follows: Glad, Dancing Heart, The Go-Betweens, Sweet Melodies, Save It for a Rainy Day, Fade, and then on side 2, Brand New Me, Take Me to the Pilot, Two Lovers, Why Are You Calling, He's Gone, and, fittingly, The Last Time. We used to drive around the city that stole the group's name, and the volcanic massifs, the Fermini and the Seoul Gorges. I might say we drove aimlessly, but meandering to nowhere is never aimless. The city is a reproach to the indolent mentality which deems towns as crap, burrs as dull, suburbs as boring and or leafy, depending on the proportion of social housing. I won't read all this for you, but it's written by Jonathan Meids in Marseille in 2025. So if you do want to try and have a look at that, pause it and all that stuff, there you have it. Now we have an inner sleeve with thank yous over there, and the band turning their backs to us. And then finally, let's have a look at the vinyl, which is oddly not so French as I might have thought it would be. Depending on how you hold it, it's either Hungarian or Italian, I guess. There we are. I think that was worth a few extra bob. Unless, of course, I can now go to the record shop and they have the exact same color variant here in Oslo. But I think the one they showed on Big Dipper's video last week was clear. I might be wrong. But anyway, guys, hey, all you fine folks out there in the vinyl community and YouTube. Morten Aastad from the future here. Well, no longer my future, or was it ever? But future Morten compared to what you've seen in the videos so far. This is about a week. This is a week after I filmed the main part of this video. So I go back up to Helgelandsmoen, to the health retreat that I'm at. And while I'm lying on my bed watching YouTube videos, I'm also looking through Discogs. And I don't remember if I was putting this Saint Etienne record into Discogs or what prompted me to look at it. But something sort of caught my eye about... I think it was what color variants there were of this record. Because, I think when I was putting in the record, I was double checking to see that this was actually my version of the record, because it said Italian, vinyl for the color scheme, which I agree, this one is definitely that. I mean, unless you hold it the wrong way and it's Hungarian, it's, that's Italy. But it said that this record contained something else. And I thought, no, it didn't. Because I remember opening the album and looking through it and everything, and it did not contain what it said in Discogs. So that made me a little bit worried because now I thought, um, could I have lost something? Could I have not put it in there? What gives? So yesterday I got back from Helgelandsmoen for this stint. That was my second out of 3. So I won't be going up there again for 6 weeks now. And I remembered that I had those thoughts. Something wasn't quite up there. So luckily, it was still lying next to my, my desk here. The box it came in, and I just looked into it and I couldn't see it, and then I ripped this part completely open like this, and lo and behold, there was the missing piece of this. The CD. Yes, there was a CD in this box, or rather, in this this version of the Saint Etienne record that I bought from Rough Trade, and it just says Saint Etienne International Extra. So there are 4 extra tracks on this, almost. Sarcevich Electro Mix, Spanish song, Walk Away From Her, and Things Break Down. So let's open this as well. And did I go, phew? Yes, I did. Because I couldn't understand why would this, because one of the tricky thing was I thought, oh, they people out there in the Discogs community probably haven't put the my color variant, which did not contain a CD in Discogs yet. So, that might have ended with me throwing out the box and not getting this CD. So there's a little bit of a gatefold here. And there's the CD with the extra 4 tracks. And then don't immediately, start looking through your records for an extra CD. There was a time where there were quite a few vinyl albums released with CDs in them. All my French records from. Oh my God, why did I go down that path? Now I can't remember. Had CDs in them, but not a proper cover. So I was actually trying to open this totally and see if there was an opening to the sleeve part of the gatefold, but no. So here you have it, guys. Saint Etienne International and the extra CD that came with it. That was the end of a journey. This is not a completion video because I do not have all the records and albums and studio albums and compilations and remix albums of Saint Etienne. It's been a very gradual journey with me, with years of not getting anything and not maybe keeping up with them, but they always had a special place in my heart, reminding me of being in my 20s and living in Copenhagen and listening to this record in the apartment that I was renting back then, and so on. So I do hope this video inspires you to, if you don't already know them, of course, to take have a listen, take a look at Saint Etienne now that they're wrapping things up. Not entirely sure whether they meant that this would be them going their separate ways forever, or if they're going to keep being a live appearing live here and there. I wasn't entirely sure about that. They seem to emphasize the end of the recording part of not doing anything anymore, so I'm a little bit unsure about that. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Please click like, that helps my channel, and if you want to subscribe, that makes me happy. And I hope to see you guys in another video. Au revoir, mes amis.